Hello everyone, welcome back to the ProgHat channel. I wanted to make this video, but I've been doing projects around the music room and getting it organized. As you can see behind me, I've been working on the walls a little bit more to make them look full, make them to look good in the background. So this is one side, you see the corner right there. I got that Who poster up. I got that Umaguma poster up. I got the Abbey Road, my favorite album of all time by the Beatles, Let It Be. I got Lennon behind me. I got Bowie on the door. So it's been quite a project today with the help of Mrs. ProgHat, who put it in her mind and wanted a blank canvas, and I just listened. So let me get into what my video is about. Folks, I wanted to share my thoughts, my quick review. Now, this is nothing in depth. I'm not going to say who plugged what into what amplifier, who set up the microphones, who set up the drum kits. I just wanted to get on here and pay tribute to the debut solo album that was released on this day back in 1978. And I'm talking about David Gilmour. One of my favorite albums of his. I just simply love this record. It's, to me, great from beginning to end. I've always liked this picture right here. Him taking off his coat. Looks like they're about to go into the studio and get business done, gatefold. You know, I've tried to look for a Harvest label. This is a Columbia Records, the red Columbia label. I just love this record. Now, let me just give you a little picture here. Picture a young ProgHat pre-teens who just started working. No, excuse me. I started working around 17 or 18. So in my mid-teens, excuse me. And getting my check, getting on the city bus, going down to a place called Sound Warehouse Music and grabbing me a copy of this. I was starting to get into solo albums by the members of Pink Floyd. And I couldn't wait to get this one. I really was anxious to get it. I had heard, now this song got radio rock play on the radio. And that's the track on here called There's No Way Out of Here. I remember hearing that on the radio, and I used to hear that real late at night, and I simply loved the song. And it didn't register to me that it was from a David Gilmour solo album. Now, this album is art rock, prog, and blues, and I just simply love that, everything about this record. This record went gold. The song, like I mentioned, did chart pretty decently. The album did pretty well. One thing that I wanted to share also, I hear a lot of elements of things that were going to be later used on the wall, and I'll get to that here in a moment. But that's what I hear. I hear like the signs of things that were on the wall. I personally love the Wall album. I feel like it's still underrated. And first of all, I want to say too that I love the instrumentals on this album. They are so rock solid. I love the instrumental that starts the album, that gets you and captivates you into the rest of the record, is the way I look at it. And that's the track Mahalis. Hopefully I said that correctly, but I simply love that. I love the track listing, the way it was done. Album cover, of course, Hypnosis, and it says, and David Gilmour. You know, one interesting thing that I read, a couple of things too, that David Gilmour is credited as playing keyboards on here, but it says that he really doesn't play keyboard. So I don't know how true that is, but that's what I heard. I heard also and read too that there was a track or something that was in the that was, I guess, in demo stage or recorded stage, something laid down, which later became Comfortably Numb. They don't really say what it was called, but that's very interesting. What else was I going to say? Other band members on here: Rick Willis, Willie Nelson, David Gilmour. They used to be in a band called Joker's Wild. I've never heard any of Joker's Wild material. Let me know in the comments if any of you have ever heard David Gilmour's band, Joker's Wild. I love the ballad on here, So Far Away. Before I get any more deeper into this album, I love that this album is so melodic and mellow. And I wrote myself a note, and that's what I need in my life, is for albums like this, because they mean a lot, because they can take me away from a lot of the blues that I'm experiencing and the bad days, and I can just drift off and get lost in the guitar playing of David Gilmour. He's in my top 5 favorite guitar players. I love it. I love that he plays so soulful, sings so soulful, and can play with some of the way I'm feeling, some anguish, some heartbreak, whatever, you know. I mean, it's honest. Those are human feelings, and this album touches those, touches upon those, in other words. So that's what I love about this album. I was spinning it again today, listening to it as I'm still working in my music room, getting it more organized. And I was just thinking, dang, those guitar solos are they're just amazing. What else do I want to say about this album? Raise My Rent. I can identify with that. I remember when I was living on my own for a little bit before I met Mrs. ProgHat. And of course, no one likes it where, you know, if we're living that apartment life about our rent being raised. And I would put that on because, man, it is, you know, like a real bluesy type song. And I could just say, no, man, you know what? That does give me a little bit of the blues that the rent's being raised. So I love it. I love that track. Not left it. I love it. So there's a lot of great solo effort on here. What would you say? There's some opinions that they say that this album is better than The Wall. I don't know if I would go that far, to be honest. I mean, that's just my thought, but I can actually hear that and understand where they might be coming from. You know, some people are just not, we're not going to be all we're not going to all like the same records. We're going to all have our different opinions about them. But like I said, Gilmour puts a lot of soulfulness into this album. And so let me just talk a little bit about some of the songs. I love the ballad, So Far Away. I love Cry from the Street. That's where I hear a little bit of The Wall. And I love Short and Sweet, the way those guitars sound. I don't know what kind of effect that is, if it's a delay, but y'all know what I'm talking about, guitar players, where it's like that. You struck, and I think I used to have a guitar effect like this, where you struck that chord or you struck those chords and it does that, like plays it real fast, delaying it back to you. Hopefully that makes sense. But if you listen to the song on there, Short and Sweet, I hear the signs of the song Run Like Hell, which is on The Wall, which is one of my favorite songs on the album. Talked about Raise My Rent, talking too fast. No Way, I love that. It's definitely another great instrumental. And what a great song that this album ends. Yeah, these are all great songs to me. And that is I Can't Breathe Anymore. Great closing song for the album. And if I haven't said this enough, I see this record being more art rock, blues rock, hard rock, but I get why people say the progness in it. Okay, I hear that too. But you know what? Let your ears be the judge of what you really think and feel about this record. I think it's a great debut album from David Gilmour. Hopefully I can come back. I don't have some of the other albums of his, like I don't have About Face. I used to have On an Island. I do have Rattle. I forgot the name of it, which I don't remember it too much. But the one that I really go to the most is the Self debut. I think it's a wonderful record. Um, I think if you're that David Gilmour fan, you can't go wrong with at least having this. Yes, I want the remastered CD of this, and I got it in my cart. So, so I'm getting ready to push the button and shop and let it come shipping home to me. Any final thoughts? Do I have any? I'm looking at my notes, folks, because I didn't want to forget anything. Like I just mentioned, I just love this record. Happy anniversary to David Gilmour's debut album, released back in 1978. Folks, go check it out. You might really like this. You might find some of the songs that you can identify to it. So anyway, everyone take care. Have a great upcoming week, and I'll see you soon, and we'll talk to you later.